Hello, welcome to episode 30 of the Epic Film Challenge 2, 1,000 Movies You Must See Before You Die, 1973's The Sting, directed by George Roy Hill, and starring Robert Redford and Paul Newman in kind of the two lead roles, kind of reuniting that team with the director and the two actors from the 1960, I forget what it was now, 69 maybe, film, Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid, which Connie still needs to see, and it's in the book, so we'll be talking about it at some point. But The Sting, great film. It's set in the, is it the 30s? I think it was the 30s, wasn't it?
Can't remember.
I think it's set in the 30s, and it's about gambling, and you know the title very much The Sting, you know, like a sting operation, like trying to con someone. And you have Robert Redford, who is kind of a street hustler, kind of making money, just kind of scamming people and doing things like that. And his introduction, you know, he's very much just on the street doing this kind of thing. But he accidentally kind of scams someone out of some money, but it turns out to be money that is very important and is playing a role in some very high operating kind of, mob kind of business, basically. And so his friend gets in trouble, and then he gets introduced to Paul Newman's character, who's kind of like an older, wiser, more experienced, hustler, so to speak. Which is quite funny because Paul Newman was in the film The Hustler, which is kind of about similar things, but in the world of playing pool. So it's kind of a, I don't know, it feels like a simple plot, but now that I'm trying to say it, it sounds complicated. But so we have Robert Redford, Paul Newman, you know, kind of Newman takes Redford under his wing a little bit, and they're going to try and pull off this big sting, like the biggest one, you know, even Paul Newman's character has ever done. And he's like, we're going to have to go all in on this, you know, and even one of the characters says, you know, if this doesn't work, you know, we're screwed, basically. So we have to go all in, and so he pulls in all the people that he knew, Paul Newman, all of the people that he's worked with over the years, to just build this massive operation to scam this guy who's the big bad, played by Robert Shaw, who's probably his most famous role is probably as Quint in Jaws. Such an amazing actor, and he plays the very what's the word? His character's very striking. But yeah, when I first watched it, Connie was away. I watched it, I loved it, I thought it was amazing. Connie's face is even off screen, she's uninterested right now. And I loved it, and then Connie came back home and I said, you got to watch this film. So we watched it, and that's the first time I've watched the film back to back, just at home, like since I was a kid probably, because I don't like to do that, but I loved it so much, I was so excited to show it to Connie. And you enjoyed it, right?
I loved it.
Yeah.
But I just can't remember specific things. I remember the big woes, but
yeah, a couple of twists and things like that, twists and turns.
Yeah, it has an amazing twist in it, which almost made me go, what?
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
like,
it's got a great twist, and it's just such a fun film. It's just so enjoyable.
yeah.
Like Paul Newman is so great, and yeah, a lot happens, but it's so, every little part of it is so enjoyable to watch, from the way they made it look like the 30s. To, you know, like some of the matte paintings that looked great, and then just again the characters, the performances, just everything just fits together, and it just slotted together so well as a film that even when I watched it again straight away, I enjoyed it even more. I was picking out new things to enjoy and things like that. But Robert Shaw, I thought it almost steals the show as the kind of bad guy, the kind of the boss of the mob. He's always saying like, "You fella." You know, just like a really, like, such a great character, and he plays it so well, and he's such a great actor as well, and he works well off of the other two. Not that he has many scenes with Paul Newman, it's mainly with Robert Redford, because that's part of the sting, basically. But and there's a music thing in it, I think it's called The Entertainer or something, and they just use it throughout the entire film, and I don't know how it didn't get annoying, but it didn't. And they would have like images on screen, like part 1 or chapter 1, something like that, and it'd be like a painting. Do you remember? Yeah, and then so like it just felt very old timey, and I liked that as well. There's probably my favourite scene, apart from the ending, which is so great, and the build up to it, is on the train when Paul Newman enters a card game to kind of
That's great.
yeah, and just he pretends to be drunk and stuff, and yeah, it's just fantastic. And again, Robert Shaw, and that's, yeah, I suppose Robert Shaw and Paul Newman do have quite a few scenes together, and that's the main one that I think about when I think about The Sting, is that scene is just so great. So
I just love how Newman looks like Sully from Uncharted.
yes, Paul Newman does have, or should you say that Sully from the Uncharted video game series has an uncanny resemblance to Paul Newman in The Sting. And I do wonder if that's intentional because it
I
seems...
read online that it is.
Really? Wow. And it's... I wouldn't say the characters are exactly the same, but there's similarities there,
Yeah.
even without the physical appearance, but...
Even like the cigar in the corner of his
yeah,
mouth.
yeah, the cigar. I mean,
the look on his face, he looks so much like him, and the way he's acting as well.
Yeah.
There's almost no doubt.
So I mean, you just gotta see it. You just got to you know, if you haven't seen it, give it a chance. There's nothing to really spoil because the ending you just got to see it, you know. And there's really good twists and turns and things like that. But it's just one of the most enjoyable, fun films that I think I've ever seen. I love it. Is it a film you must see before you die? Yes. Snap. You know, how do I even, you know, explain? How do I even say why? It just is. It just
go see it.
Just you said it there. Go see. You can't go see it. Just find it and watch it at home or whatever. Get the Blu-ray. It's a great Blu-ray with a digibook and stuff. Really nice, but. Yeah, just great performances, you know, and it's just becoming a...
Well written.
Yeah, well written, exactly. It's just everything about it. I think it won quite a few Oscars. I can't remember off the top of my head now, though. But it should have, either way. And that's about it. Thanks for watching.